Animal Rescue and the chair of the board of directors.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. I mean, this is an amazing experience to be with people. Yeah.
The microphone is strong.
You know, we're unusual because we only depend on our donors. We don't have government support. We don't have major grants. We are dependent on individuals, and we only have to answer to the people who support us. And we have had a most extraordinary year in 2013. We got the sanctuary open for its first full year. We raised the money, the capital campaign, so we now have 3 cottages open and fully staffed. We had the program center for the first year, and I couldn't be prouder to have my name on it. It is the biggest honor I could ever imagine. And it just thrills me to know that I'm associated with an organization that is doing so much good work. That building is not only providing the place for our staff to work out of, Susan's basement, but it was time to move on. But the number of programs, we have the monthly adoption events. I was happy to participate in one of them. It was quite an experience. And then the number of programs that we have there, the puppy programs, I had a little discussion with somebody today about the Reiki program for dogs. When I predicted to Susan that no one would sign up for that, because it was like woo-woo, I'm a finance person, I'm not a woo. She had 10 people, how long did it take to get you in like a day? She was fully covered. I think that'd be another one, right?
Yeah, they're doing 2 sessions now.
We have something on pet bereavement, pet first aid. We're going to have a presentation on planning for the estate planning, planning for life after your death with your pets. There are just so many ideas of things, and we now have a place to do it. We have a home. And it feels like a home. Have all of you been to the program center? It's quite astonishing. And then, of course, we have the sanctuary. And that is something really special because, and I tell people that our animals live in homes and not in crates and cages. It takes them a while to even realize what you're talking about. And we're really raising the bar on animal welfare in this area. And it's an extraordinary organization to be involved in. I say this often, there are lots of animal people doing good work. And I support some of them. But they're living on, I don't even say they're living on a shoestring, they're living on a thread. It's really, it's hard to see. I mean, their hearts are in the right place, but there's a great deal of difficulty they have thinking beyond immediate needs. This is a real organization with a future and a plan for the future. And in the field of animal welfare, we have a lot to be proud of. So I am totally thrilled to be involved. I'm going to introduce Mitch, who not only has to live with Susan and live our companions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except when he actually goes to the work that pays him, right? But he gives so much of himself to our companions, all on a volunteer basis, like so many of the wonderful volunteers we have. It's a thrill to have him involved. We basically we get 2 for the price of 1. We get 2 for the underpaid price of 1, for the bargain price of 1. So this is quite a deal for those of us who give our money. It's very well spent. All right, Mitch, it's all yours.
I love talking from up here. It's so dramatic. Valerie just began her 2nd term as our first ever board chair. And I could go on and on about her leadership and all that she's brought to the organization, but you just have to look at the track record. We are in a very different place now from 3 years ago when she first signed on. So as Susan would say, she freaking rocks.
That's not what she said.
Of course, I want to thank Linda and Mark for once again having us in their beautiful home and for hosting us tonight. Linda is literally one of our first leadership supporters. Long before there was a sanctuary, long before there was a program center, She was supporting us, talking us up in the community, and we wouldn't be where we are today if it weren't for a handful of people who helped us during the lean years. We're still lean, but we were emaciated. Valerie, Linda, Dottie, and so many people who are here today. Paula, who've just been with us since the early days. It's fun to still be on this journey with you. So this is always sort of a bittersweet event, at least personally, because we're really here to thank you for your support last year. Your leadership in 2013 and all the success we had. And as Valerie intimated, it was a great year. But it is already April. We're looking to the future. That next solicitation is right around the corner. I'm sure we're thrilled about. So this is really the last time that we can sort of reflect and be maybe a little self-congratulatory. So if you'll indulge me, I'm going to really relish the next 90 seconds, because then it's over. I'm moving forward. But last year, our annual fund goal was $650,000. That's what our finance committee determined we needed for there to be in our companions. That's what we needed to raise. But knowing that, as Valerie said, we're building more cottages, we knew the costs were going to go up a lot this year. So to put ourselves in a position of strength, we decided to have an aspirational goal of $725,000, just so we were in a good place for this year. We actually got to about $750,000 last year. Or as I like to call it, 3/4 of $1 million. That was, I don't know, probably a 13% increase over the year before. And in addition to that, we were finishing up the capital campaign, again, to build the 2 new cottages. And if you haven't been out there, you got to see them. They're awesome. I don't get out there enough myself. But I mention that because it was a milestone year in 2013 between the annual fund and the capital campaign. In terms of all cash in the door, it was the first year we raised over $1 million. And as Valerie would say, well, we have a lot more to raise, a long way to go, but it is a milestone. You think 10 years ago, in our first year, I think we raised about $7,000. So our numbers are going back. And thank you. Obviously, we think about numbers a lot. We are on a very tight budget. But I never lose sight of what those numbers mean. We're small enough, you can see the direct correlation between the money we raise and the growth of the organization, the people we can hire, the lives we can save. That's never lost on me. But something I've been thinking more about as we've been growing and hiring more people are the people who have dedicated their lives to this organization in so many ways. We now have over 300 active volunteers. I'm sure many of you are part of that. And in terms of staff, for those of you who have been with us for a while, I think this is going to blow your mind. Between part-time and full-time people, we now have 15 employees. Wow. We're job creators. As I've been getting to know these people and learning about them, you know, most of whom, I think all of whom, paid their dues as volunteers, all of whom are making very little money. I've been hearing about their enthusiasm and how excited they are to be part of this organization. And you know, they're so excited to sort of take us to the next level. And it's not just because they get to get up in the morning and work with animals and save animals. It's because they can do so on behalf of an organization they believe in that mirrors their own values. And I think there is a need for that in the community. So I'm so proud to play a small role in facilitating that. And I hope you're proud too. You should be, because you're the ones who made it possible. And that's not an exaggeration. 99%, more than that, just under 100% of the money we raise or that we have comes from donations. And any given year, the money it takes for there to be in our companions, it almost entirely comes from donations. And beyond that, 83% of that comes from our leadership supporters, our McLean Society donors. 83%. So you're everything to this organization. And I know that there are a lot of organizations vying for your support. I'm a fundraiser by trade, I get it. There are a lot of guys like me out there knocking on your door, in some cases literally. And that we have become a priority or continue to be a priority, it means the world to us. It's something we'll never take for granted, and we think about it every day. So I look forward to seeing you in 1 year, where I get to tell you about all the great things we did in 2014, thanks to your continued support. I had to slip it in. As well as we did last year, we're going to do even better this year. And now I'm going to turn it over to Susan, who has such a beautiful way of talking about the spirit of the organization right now and sort of where we are in 2014 and what all this money is translated into. So thank you so much.
My turn on the steps. Well, wow, there's a lot of people here. Hey, thank you all for being here and for all of your support last year and for many, many years. and of course, our hosts I want to thank. Where's Linda and Mother? Thank you very much. Thank you for opening your beautiful home and allowing us to party in style here tonight. So I was reflecting on my comments, and I wanted just to share with you something that kind of occurred to me this morning. I was doing the morning routine. We all have our morning routines with our animals. And I was doing mine, and what that means in our home is taking care of 7 cats. Yes, I have 7 cats. And 1 dog that will bite you anytime she gets an opportunity. So we're going through the role of doing all the cleaning and the feeding and this and that. And I went downstairs to my office where I have my 2 office kitties that share my office with me, and I'm cleaning litter boxes and doing food and all that. And I decided to log into the sanctuary to check out what's going on there. Now, for those of you who don't know, when we built the sanctuary, we built a surveillance system, and each of the rooms has a camera in it. It's really cool. So that we can also monitor it remotely, so all of our employees can go home and log into the sanctuary and make sure everything's going fine there. So it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, let me check out what's going on, because it's addictive. And it was around that time when the staff was just arriving, and they were starting their morning routine. And so I was seeing the cars pull up on the outside cam, and then I could see as the animals are hearing them approach, them waking up and stretching and stretching around and getting all excited for breakfast. And the only thing more joyful about seeing these animals wake up after being tucked in so sweetly overnight is watching the staff walk in and receive them, and I was just kind of like admiring just the connection. And I was seeing, some people were singing to the animals, and there was and I was starting to notice that I was picking up on some choreographed routines that, and the animals had trained them well, very well, just like my animals have, because you do certain things in certain order because it's required. And even little things like, one of our cats, Timmy, has to jump up on the washing machine, get his little Timmy cuddles before we give him his food bowl, and it has to be on the right side, never on the left side. One of our dogs, Johnny, will only go on a walk if he has a tennis ball queued up in his mouth, and half the time he loses out on the walk, but that's how he walks. And, we know these things, and we know these details because we've discovered who these animals are once they're there, and we have this intimate relationship with them. And that's what it kind of hit me, is that when we built the sanctuary, we thought, we're going to make these cottages, and we're going to have rooms, and we're going to have TVs, and it's going to feel like home. But what I started realizing when I was watching the cameras and watching all these routines is that what we really have created are these little families there. And that's what really makes it feel like a home. And I started thinking about my animal family as I'm taking care of them, and I saw Lily Petunia, and we all have these stories with our own pets. This is Lily Petunia. Okay, I brought a picture because she's so fancy. Okay, she's named Petunia because she's fancy, and also some of you have met Lily Petunia. You've also probably required her stay right after. So she's a little grumpy. She's got her little things. She has Lily Petunia rules, and if you break them, you will bleed. Because she reminds me of a cat we have in the sanctuary named Marilyn. She just has very specific requirements for human conduct. And she takes it very seriously. And the one thing I know about her, because she's in our family, is she loves 2 things most in life. One is Mitchell. She's in love with him. That's her boyfriend. And just don't get between them. But the other thing that she loves more than him is butter. Now, I had mentioned that we have 7 cats, and most of them are sick or geriatric. So we have to do a lot of pilling, putting pills down cats' throats, which is always very fun. But I found early in life that if you coat it with butter, it slides right down. So in my morning routine, I have my buttering of the pills, and every morning, like clockwork, out of nowhere, Lily Petunia will materialize, jump up on the counter, and demand her butter fix. And every day, if you had a camera, you would see the same thing happen every day. And I was thinking about my magic kitty. Many of you have had your ear sucked by him. I did say that right, ear sucked. He's an ear sucker. He doesn't care who's there. He'll just jump on you and just suck your ear. And I was thinking there's these little quirks that I know because they're my family, and I'm seeing the same thing at the sanctuary with these animals that we're discovering once they get there. And I started thinking about that this is so different from the traditional systems of animal welfare that we have. And I know this because I worked in a shelter for 8 years. The opposite actually happens when animals end up in shelters. All the butter love and ear sucking, all of that just falls away. When they end up in a shelter, they become instantly anonymous. Sometimes they don't even have a name. They're reduced to a number. And I remember thinking about that, working in the shelter sometimes, I would wonder, who are these animals? Like, what do they love? And I had to kind of push it out of my mind because many of them were on borrowed time and it wasn't the place they were in. They were scared in these cages and it was just a different world. And so when I look at what we've created together at the sanctuary, and it just makes me feel so, so good. So I wanted to share a few things with you to kind of talk with you about this. So we have a great staff, and we've increased it because we obviously need people to take care of the animals of the sanctuary. We also have a lot of great volunteers. So our staff routinely, sometimes on a daily basis, will email the volunteers, letting them know updates about animals that are new, and also their progress as they evolve, you know, at the sanctuary and become rehabilitated. And I had a couple of emails that I wanted to read with you, just to give you an idea of this beautiful, intimate relationship we have once they come in and also as we heal them. Christine Penny is one of our new employees. Where's Christine? There she is. She works with the cats, and these literally came from their email. Okay, this is to the cat volunteers. Hi team, I just wanted to give you an update on our pleasantly plump residents, Dusty and Polly. Both of them have been placed on a diet, which is outlined on our whiteboard in the living room. To help them shed those extra pounds, we need your help. If you can give them each some extra playtime here at the sanctuary, that'd be great. Dusty definitely loves his feather stick toy. And hopefully we can get Polly to love it too, as she's a little slower to move towards the toy. Laura, who's there, give a wave, Laura, who also works with our cats, she wrote an update to our volunteers when we took in a senior cat who was physically neglected horribly and brokenhearted. And so this is how she announced his arrival. Phoenix has arrived and he's settled in. He is a handsome senior gentleman of undetermined age who needs a lot of TLC to help him adjust to his new situation in life. Phoenix came to us because his owner passed away and his new caretaker did not take care of him properly. He's been through the ringer, but now he's healthy and he's ready for a new chapter in his life. So please be sure to spend time sitting quietly with him, just petting him. Cheek and chin scratches are his favorite places. And he loves treats, so please give him lots of treats, but make sure none fall into Dusty's mouth. Marie wrote an email about a dog we took in from one of the dog pounds. She was there for weeks with a broken leg just dangling off the leg. So we took Gidget into our sanctuary, and after a few weeks of crate rest and some medical attention, she wrote to the volunteers, Gidget is making great strides, pun intended, towards healing and being able to start getting out more in the world. She still cringes and startles at times, but she's on her way to leaving the past behind her. And John, who couldn't be here with us tonight, wrote, he also is on our dog team, Henry the Beagle has arrived. He's a sweet boy and easy to walk. Henry's not completely housebroken, so please let him out frequently. Also, make sure to keep a close eye on him when he's in the living room area with you. He, not only for his actions, but for his mischief as well. I had him out with me this afternoon, and he climbed on top of the crate in the living room. And no, I didn't take a picture of it. And he knocked over the bathroom trash and some other mischief I won't mention. But all of this should go away. As we get him a more vigorous exercise routine and some training, it's all going to go away, but we need to make sure that this habit doesn't become a permanent behavior while he's here. And I also wanted to share with you a text message I received, but Mitchell told me not to.
You'll thank me.
It was a photo that I had gotten of a litter box and a perfectly formed poop in it. Now, it was sent to me in a variety of people because it was a huge celebration. The cat who made this poop had come to us after 10 years of chronic and painful diarrhea that was never treated. We tried everything. I mean, Laura and her team did everything for him. Ultrasounds, blood work, this test, that test. So much money, so much time, because he was miserable. And when we finally identified he has a food allergy and got him on the right diet, he took that nice dump. So this is if that's not family, if that's not family behavior, I don't know what it is. You know,
Champagne corks were popping.
That's so special about our organization. And every one of those animals there, no one's anonymous. Every one of those animals there has a team of people who are always thinking about them, who are always worrying about them, who are always rooting for them, who are always trying to consider, how can we take these broken animals, and they literally come broken to us, like Gidget with his leg or Phoenix with his heart, and we constantly try to think, what can we do to put them back together, to make them whole again, to discover who they are, and help them on their way where they're ready for a new home. So another family. can adopt them and discover all their little quirks, like their love of butter and their ear sucking and all the things that we can share with them because we've met as well. And I wanted to share this with you because you've made all of this possible. And I know that this is coming loud and clear at this event, but it's really, really true. I mean, many of you have been investing in us since the sanctuary, even before the sanctuary was built, because you wanted to see this. And it's here, and it's because of all of you, very much. And so I want to thank you on behalf of the animals, but I also want to thank you on behalf of the staff. You have given us the privilege, and it's absolutely a privilege, to do this work every day. This is our life's work. And when I talk to our employees and they say, I was on a walk with one of our employees, Crystal, she said, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. I think Mandy said that. Where's Mandy? She's somewhere. Mandy said and someone else, oh, there she is, right? I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. And they say, this is my dream job. I'm so happy. These people are, I believe, on this world for this work. And we've not only given them the opportunity to do it, but we've given them the opportunity to do it the right way. So I want to thank you for giving us the chance and the privilege to do our life's work and to giving us the resources to do it the right way. So thank you for your past support. I'm thanking you in advance for your future support. And I wanted to let you know that our growth is not just at the sanctuary. As Valerie had mentioned, our program center has exploded. I mean, 6,000 square feet is a big space until you have lots going on there. We just had a staff meeting today, and Stephanie was, making sure that everyone's putting everything on the program center calendar because we're running out of spaces to book events. So it really has been a collective, it's resulted in something really, truly amazing. So I wanted to, tonight, thank you for that, and just let you know this is very much your success. So I look forward to sharing many more successes with you, and I'm going to leave you with 2 promises. I promise that we are just begun. We have just begun. What we have planned is so much more ambitious than where we've been. And I promise you that as we grow and as we expand, we will always hold true and steadfast our commitment to do what's right for the animals, to always make sure that their needs are first and that all of our operations have the highest integrity. And I promise you that. I look forward to sharing many more successes with you. So I wanted to thank our hosts again for offering this beautiful, beautiful space and for all of your support over the years as well. And I also wanted to introduce Steve. Steve Shura has been a long-time supporter of ours, adopted 2 babies. So Brian and Steve are now OC adopters. And I wanted just to have you come up and say a few words. I believe there's important business we have to take care of, right? Yeah. Do you want to hit the stairs? It's fun.
Hi everyone, I am co-director of the Sweetheart Invitational Bowling Tournament. We are the largest gay and lesbian sporting event in New England. We get bowlers from all across the country and Canada that come to snowy Connecticut in February.
Committed to come, right?
Yes. We have a great committee that works very hard, and something that makes our tournament very successful is our commitment to our beneficiaries, and our companions is one of our beneficiaries, one of 3. My committee is doing great work all year round, doing fundraisers and events such as a beer bash that we do every month at the Shea in Hartford. We do pasta dinners and cosmic disco bowling at our bowling center, and we're really proud of all of that. We particularly since my committee has taken over, we've noticed a huge increase in our ability to raise money for our charities and our beneficiaries. Since I've taken over, or my committee's taken over 4 years ago, we've raised and given out over $50,000.
Nice.
Wow. So not bad for 4 wars. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary of having the tournament, so we're really excited. This past February was our 3rd year having our companions as one of our beneficiaries.
Thank you.
And I am happy to announce that we have again elected them for next year. We are all enrolled in the committee, and we are truly honored to actually have you guys as a beneficiary again. Our tournament was not sold out this year due to the economy and the lovely weather we had this year. However, we did still raise some pretty decent money, and that's what brings me here tonight. We have a check for our companions for $5,500.
Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Oh, this is great. This is my favorite part of the event.
Why is it made out to you?
Yeah, I know. Susan Mitchell-Linker. All right, so thank you very much again for being here tonight, and I look forward to staying in touch. We have a lot of exciting updates to share with you later this year as the spring and the summer moves on. So thank you very much for coming and for all your support.